Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yep.
Okay. I had to call in because my internet's out.
Everybody's is.
Yeah, apparently it's a nationwide outage. What I just saw.
Nationwide?
Wow.
Holy cow.
That's what it popped. Yeah, it's what popped up on my news center flash was Spectrum's having a nationwide outage again.
Oh, that's great.
It's amazing what you could become dependent upon.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay, I guess we can get going. Is everyone here?
Yep.
Everybody but Wendy, I think.
Okay. Well, it'll cut down on the attendance, that's for sure.
Is Derwin on?
No.
What is that noise? I think we should get started.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, I think that I would like to call this meeting to order. First, we have a public hearing, Northeast Lobster Company, LLC, doing business as the Nor'easter 10 Huntington Road, Northeast Harbor, request for liquor license and special amusement permit. And secondly, Mandy Fontaine, doing business as Abel's Lobster Pound on the Shore, LLC, request for liquor special amusement permit renewal.
Excuse me, John.
Yes. Who am I
Thank you.
speaking to?
I was just going to address myself or let you know it's Carmen Sanford, and I just want to make sure that I am going to be able to speak about the possible venue change for the upcoming town meeting. And I was told this is during the public speaking possibility. Is that correct?
No, this public hearing is for these two permits.
All right.
Okay. We have two permits on the floor.
I do understand that, but I thought when you opened a meeting that if there was a chance for public opinion, that was the time to say something.
No, I don't believe so. But I've got an item in front of me here. We can do selectmen's reports or unfinished or other business. We can do it there.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. We're in a public hearing now on these two permits, one for Northeast Lobster and one for Mandy Fontaine, Abel's Lobster Pound.
John, this is Matt. I have a question, and I see Adam has been able to join us, so that's good to see. But I'm wondering where this is I don't suspect there'll be any real issues here, but I'm wondering, whereas the public has very limited access to this meeting right now, should we be approving anything at this point? I don't know how the others feel. Like I said, I don't anticipate an issue, but if the public wanted to comment, they have a difficult task trying to connect right now, potentially.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that, actually, and I would take a motion to table this until our next meeting.
I so move.
I would second that. This is Matt.
Yeah,
Great.
good,
Anybody
good
else have-
suggestion, Matt.
Yeah, anybody have anything they want to say before we make before we vote?
This is Adam Fraley here with the Nor'easter. I do appreciate the situation at hand. We need to move forward renewing our liquor license in order to open. So I don't know if there's, a way to do that without the Board of Selectmen's signatures on it. So just wanted to put that out there that, it is a somewhat of a time sensitive.
Adam, are you opening before the 19th?
The 12th of May.
Oh, okay. We'll do it at our next meeting.
Okay, they do expect us to start the process within 30 days of opening, so we're
Oh,
sort of getting into that period, but
Okay, so by they, you mean the state?
yeah. It's good.
Oh,
oh.
okay.
Well, I hate to hold
Uh,
them up. That won't give them time. What do you think, Matt?
Well, what if, I'm just throwing this out there. Adam, you have a liquor license and a special amusement license that need to be renewed, correct?
Yeah,
And like I said, I don't anticipate any problems, but I do know, just with that location, not with you in particular, there has been public comment in regards to the special amusement permit the last few times it's been up.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for us to hold off on that until our next meeting on the 19th, but perhaps consider going ahead with approval or making a motion on the liquor license portion of this situation?
yeah.
Would that work
I
for you?
think that'd be fair to note, revisiting constraints to the special amusement permit or any comment on it, but I think they do expect to see an approval of that permit with the entire liquor license application.
Okay, how about if we do this? How about if we consider the liquor licenses and now and consider the special amusement permits later?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I take back my earlier motion and I make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
second.
Well, wait, we don't actually, we're not taking action on this right now, correct? That's further down the agenda.
Right,
Oh, yes, that's correct.
that's right. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, never
I
mind.
take back
never
all
mind
my motions, my ridiculous motions.
All right. So we can just continue then.
Yeah.
We'll revisit a public hearing at some later date. Great. Okay. Post-public hearing action.
The liquor license.
Liquor licenses. Okay, I'm looking for motions.
All right,
I
this is
move-
Matt, and I would move
Yes.
approval of the liquor license renewal for the Nor'easter.
Second,
Okay, good. Any further discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Any against? Okay, so that is Martha Dudman, John McCauley, Jeff Wood, Matt Hart, absent Wendy Littlefield. Okay?
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yep, I
Thanks,
will
Adam.
I will accept a motion on behalf of Abel's Lobster Pound as well for the liquor license.
Move approval of the liquor license for Abel's Lobster Pound.
Second,
Any discussion?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Jeff, are you there? Okay, John McCauley says aye. So that's at least three of us. Okay,
They're dropping like flies.
Okay, so we're minus Jeff and Wendy.
Did anyone else get a text from Wendy? She said she could not, her internet's out obviously also, and she was having trouble with her phone.
Yeah. That's all right. I know that's a hard spot over there. Okay, but we have a quorum.
Yeah.
So we might as well. That's good that we moved on the liquor licenses. All right. So
Aye.
minutes. Who's that?
Yes. Aye. Yep. Can you hear me?
Is that Jeff?
I don't,
That Jeff Wood? Okay.
I think he's in and out.
Yeah. Okay. Good. He said aye as well, I believe. Jeez. This is unbelievable. Okay. Minutes. I will take a motion to approve the minutes from March 29, 2021.
I can't find the minutes in my packet. I don't know if somebody else got them. I didn't get them in my packet.
No. You can't
What?
hear me?
What?
I can't hear a thing.
We can't hear you, whatever you're saying.
Right.
I didn't get
the
minutes.
minutes in mine.
Here.
No.
Did you get them, Matt?
I don't see them in my packet, no.
No,
No.
I didn't get them. So let's skip that. Or table it or
Okay.
whatever.
Table it. Appointments, recognitions, and resignations. Appointment of Ben Gilly as part-time on-call firefighter to the Mount Desert Fire Department effective June 5th, effective June 5th, 2021 at a starting pay of $14.08 an hour.
Yeah.
This is Matt, and I would approve the appointment of Benjamin Gilly under the terms presented with many thanks.
Mr. Chairman, this is Mike Bender.
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Yes, if allowed, I need to make some changes on the names here. There's a couple of incorrections.
Okay.
Particularly item 5A needs to be
Yep.
disregarded.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Item 5B is correct, but if I'm allowed, I also would like to add 2 more names to be appointed at the same pay rate and effective the same date.
Okay. What are those names?
First one is Molly Brown, Molly, common spelling last name. And
Okay.
the second one is Kelly Brown, Kelly, again, common spelling last name.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'd
so
like
all-
to
all-
remove my motion for 5A.
Okay, so we'll skip over 5A and we'll go to a request that Margaret Houghton be appointed as a part-time on-call firefighter to the Mount Desert Fire Department effective April 6, 2021 at a starting pay of $14.08 an hour.
So
I think we
moved.
have to make, okay,
Second.
second? Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? I think that's Jeff. Okay. Request that Molly Brown be appointed as a part-time on-call firefighter to the Mount Desert Fire Department effective April 6, 2021 at a starting pay rate of $14.08 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Good. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay. And finally, request that Kelly Brown be appointed as a part-time on-call firefighter to the Mount Desert Fire Department effective April 6, 2021 at a starting pay of $14.08 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? All in favor?
Hi.
Yes, it is.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Consent agenda. Thank you. Thank you. I'm assuming that says thank you note from the Common Good Soup Kitchen, not the thank you not from the Common Good Soup Kitchen. Mount Desert Island Hiking Trail System letter dated March 23, 2021, and Department of Marine Resources Pretty Marsh reclassification.
I would move approval of the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. Selectmen's reports. All right. I heard some interest from Carmen in bringing up the venue for our town meeting. And Carmen, I'm going to suggest that we wait until we have an internet connection, because that's a discussion I think that a lot of people are going to want to be part of.
Sure. Surely. Is it really set in stone yet, though? The date is.
The date for the town meeting?
Oh, no, I think, no, what the date is, right? The date is May 4th and
Yes,
5th.
it is.
But
Yes.
but it's not, I mean, it's not set in stone as to exactly where the venue location is.
I don't know how set in stone that is. That's a Derlin question. Okay.
There's no.
Well, John, I have written to Derlin. Actually, we've had some emails back and forth this past week, and he is definitely, I mean, he's pretty sure that it is going to be held in the parking lot at the high school. And me just learning that just, recently, that's why I've come on, and I definitely wanted to see if I could have some time to discuss that, and offer certainly a change of venue location. But he definitely led me to believe like this was the decision, and I thought it'd be best for me to come, to you all to talk about it.
Yeah. So that would be a good idea, except that all of us isn't here.
Right.
You just want to.
And I have to say that a lot of the venue choice has to do with what the people that control those venues are allowing.
John, I do. Sorry, I do understand that, but and that was another thing that was also addressed in the emails, and that is not quite correct. As in, it might be today that they wouldn't allow us to come and use the school, but at a different date they would be, and that's the whole part of it. It's like Bar Harbor is using the Connors Emerson Gymnasium. Southwest Harbor is going to be using the new fire station bays. That's where they're going to have their town meeting. So, it just became relevant to me, certainly, that there's no reason. I mean, I've got plenty of reasons why we shouldn't go back up to the parking lot, at the high school. But I think we need to have town influence in this. Not just 5 of you or just Derlin, but I think, we need to ask how people are feeling about this. There's, and where they would like it to be held. So I'll go on, and I'll wait and, appear again, but I just don't want this to go too far to say, well, no, sorry, we can't do that. That's what I feel I got from Derlin. No, it'll be nice to have it next year. That's what his first was. Second, no, it's, no, we can't do this because the superintendent says we can't. No, that's not correct. I just, I want to have a say, and I just totally disagree with where they're looking at doing it again. That was what I felt. I don't know if and in fact, Derlin said he put my emails to you all or forwarded them. Maybe you didn't see them or chose not to or whatever, but
No, we're aware of the situation, Carmen. We were forwarded the email with your back and forth and Wendy's response.
Okay. And Wendy actually, that's why I especially was here tonight. And that's why I thought I needed to say that early on about, will I have a little bit of time? Because Wendy said there would be discussion at the Board of Selectmen's meeting. So I just wanted to, just be sure that I would be able to speak and not hold back and let time, all of a sudden somebody say, sorry, you lost your opportunity.
This is
No,
Matt, and it's interesting. We sort of find ourselves, it's like the hokey pokey. We've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We've got sort of 1 foot towards back to normal and sort of 1 foot still in pandemic. I do know that the school board said that they would revisit the issue in May. And,
Great.
Obviously, if with our meeting scheduled the way it is now, the 4th and 5th, it would be too late for us to make any changes at that point. And my understanding is also that while Bar Harbor is saying that they will have their town meeting, I guess it's sometime the first week of June or so, that they also have a backup plan in place because there is no guarantee that they'll be able to use the elementary school. Southwest Harbor, if they're using a building such as the fire department that is controlled and overseen by the municipality rather than a school board, for example, they may be able to hold that meeting inside. But even at this point, as we are, the policies change, allowing 50% capacity, 75% capacity, that's really only telling part of the story because the 6 feet of distancing is still required. So there's a real chance you can't meet that 50% capacity, for example, or 75%, whatever it may be. So I think Derlin's point of view is there's still so many question marks. It's just let's plan on what we can plan on and what we know is solid. And I would completely agree with you, Carmen. The sort of outdoor drive-in meeting is far from ideal. But I will be honest and say I did get some positive comments last year from it as well. I think it's certainly not something we want long-term, that's for sure. But I think it worked out better than expected, I guess is what I would say, even though it's far from perfect.
I'd like to make one quick correction. The meeting this year is on the 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
Monday and Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's certainly a discussion that we can have. I don't feel comfortable giving you anything useful. I don't have anything useful to give you, Carmen, until I've got more people on board with this. Okay.
Thank you, John. I really wasn't anticipating an answer, but I was hoping that we could have some discussion of what other things could we do. I mean, does this need to come to a citizen's vote? In that I felt very strongly against that parking lot meeting, very strongly. And I have all my reasons, certainly, but the idea that more people are being certainly vaccinated. We have a possibility of Zooming. We don't have a possibility of Zooming up at the parking lot, but that the fact that those who would want to participate or could congregate, if they felt safe enough, those we could handle those, and then the others could be Zoomed in. But and the feeling of inclusiveness, but and I'm thinking, okay, I can't believe the school would actually say, no, you cannot use this building. But we have other places that we can use, that belong to the town. But for to be able to be in a situation that you can be heard. That you guys were way up front at that meeting, all the selectmen and all, but the people in back, I couldn't even see anybody. I couldn't hear anything. It was you know, the idea of getting out of your car and walking up there to ask a question was like so intimidating that no one, I mean, who spoke? We had two people speak. One, you know, and I'm thankful. I mean, I totally thought he was courageous by walking, having to do that. That is not a town meeting. It was, sorry, but anyway, I'm sorry. See, I got going on it, and I just feel very strongly that it's not, you are doing a disservice to the town and its community members by holding it up there. It's not inclusive. It's not. And it's isolating. It's feeling trapped. I mean, those are all the words that, I mean, that's how I felt about it. It doesn't speak to a town community. So, okay.
This is Jeff Wood, Carmen. I really appreciate you sharing that and having the courage to come out and say what you feel about this. I mean, there's a lot of what you're saying that I tend to agree with. It's difficult. I think that we'd all hope that this would open up long before now. There is I mean, we don't have spaces that are adequate other than the ones that are under the control of the school. Those we can't, there's nothing we can really do at all to change that. And that is a question and a concern possibly, but it's the reality. We will, I mean, you know, 16-year-olds can get vaccinated as of tomorrow. And by the end of this month, in theory, everybody that wants to get vaccinated could get vaccinated here on the island. Also true. But, you know, we didn't know that a month ago, and we didn't know that 3 weeks ago. And so there are a lot of, you're right. There's a lot of things that perhaps got pushed too far down the road to change. And perhaps I do think that a discussion would have to take place very quickly if anything was going to change. The technology is available for people to participate a little more freely than once was the case. There are, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to respond, but I appreciate you sharing your perspective. And the town form of government is messy, but it only works when the town people can participate. I agree with you on that point.
You're breaking up. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Jeff. And you know what just came to mind is, okay, I mean, I know it costs money, but how about a big, huge tent, all sides, you know, up or down, whatever it is. There are venues that we can, if we can't go inside the building, we can meet. And I just think it's so important to meet and I mean, and that's, you know, I'll do whatever I can do to help. I mean, in the idea of a petition, if it's needed, to say, what are the citizens feeling? Wouldn't you all like to know? I mean, the majority of you all, I would, you know, I don't think I'm the lone one out here. And it's, you know, it's important that we have an annual town meeting with all of us together, you know, as many as possible, you know, with the inclusive feeling of, it means a lot. Anyway,
John,
thank you.
Jerry seems to want to say something.
Okay.
I was wondering, is there a set date when it has to be advertised that the meeting is going to be in one place or another?
45 days is
Okay.
what my understanding is. I think
That's
that's
for-
already passed.
That's for printing the warrant, but what about
Oh, I don't know.
advertising it in the paper?
Don't know.
Because if it's a couple weeks ahead of time, we could still have time to announce a change if it was possible. Thank you, Carmen.
Yeah, I believe it's 30 days, but I'm not sure. for this. Anyway, yeah, I kind of like the idea of the tent and the chairs and so forth. But the responses we got, as Matt says, from last year's meeting weren't egregious. I mean, some people had trouble with it, but we didn't hear much negative. So, I mean, that's kind of how we made our plan this year. And with things still up in the air, we're still not through this, obviously, through this pandemic. And we just have to go forward carefully. But I do like the tent idea. That's worth bringing up again. And as I said before, I would love to discuss this when we have more people in the room or whatever this is.
Let me just say one more thing, I promise. I would have been happy if someone, was there any place that it said, hey, what do you think about, how did that town meeting go? I had those frustrations then, and when I heard that it was even a possibility that we were doing this, no, not it was even a possibility. I didn't hear any other discussion. I mean, we've been sitting in warrant committee meetings, since January, right through to March. There was no discussion on this. I was so surprised to hear that that's what we were going to do. I would have certainly, and I could have, if that was a breaker thing, I would have brought more people in. I'm only with Jerry right now because I didn't have any internet, and I was freaking out thinking, oh my God, this is my only chance. And, Jerry, for whatever reason, gets a different router than other people, I guess. But, I think more people would prefer, and I know that Phil certainly said that he would prefer to be, in. I'm sure we could bring to you a list of, like a petition, if that's what the Board of Selectmen needs to hear. What the citizens want.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue of what everyone wants. I think clearly everybody would love to have meetings in face on again. I don't think you're going to have trouble filling a petition like that, but I don't think it's going to tell you anything you don't know. It's a question of what we can do. It's not an opinion. It's what can we do? What is the best course? And this is the course we've chosen. But again, I'd like to have more people in the room that can weigh in on this.
Mm-hmm. Carmen, I'd just like to say I really, I hear in your voice not only your unhappiness about the venue for the town meeting, but I think what we're all feeling is this just been such a tough year. We've all felt so isolated and not had that sense of inclusion. All of our meetings by phone or by Zoom, it's been very difficult. And boy, we all miss it. But I'm just not sure we can do it this year. But certainly let's discuss it when we can get more people, at least on Zoom, to discuss. And I appreciate you bringing it to us, Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
This is Matt. Could I just throw out one suggestion? Would be if we do in fact end up back in the high school parking lot, depending on sort of what the state mandates are at that point, and they're liable to be different a month from now. In fact, I'm sure they probably will be. Last year, I did think it was a little awkward, everyone sitting in their vehicle. And if we could at least give people the opportunity, if we decide that it's not negatively affecting everyone's health and well-being, to at least have the opportunity to sit outside their vehicle, still with the appropriate level of social distancing. At least, you can see someone's face that way, potentially, which is big.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak up if I can. One of the options we can is not changing the venue, not changing the date, but setting up chairs in the parking lot was something that would probably be the simplest solution at this point. I think we have to advertise the town meeting again. It's always been 45 days on the warrant. I think we're allowed to postpone it because there's always acts of God and reasons that you may need to postpone something. Last year, as we know, we indefinitely kept postponing it until we got into a fiscal issue where we needed to fund the schools to be able to have the schools open, and that's how we got there last year. But I'd like to possibly, continue moving forward if we can with the town meeting as planned. But I think
You're gone, Phil.
Oh, neat. Oh,
I got down like Jeff, but I think an immediate email, see if we can, if it's a possibility to have chairs set in the parking lot where, we're hiring BOS tents, they can rent us the chairs, we don't have to use any of the high school chairs. We need at least 50 seats, beyond that, so we set up for 80 or 100. And so what if we don't use them all?
yeah, that's a good idea.
Almost everybody has folding chairs of their own. Do anybody, I mean,
We've already hired the tent company and no one could say they don't have one.
right, but everybody else could bring their own. The problem would be getting sound to all those chairs because everybody was listening in their cars to the radio, right? How did we do it last year for?
I don't think that was working very well. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No.
So no, I think that the idea would be if we were going to go to this route, would be not allow cars to park in the area where the seating is, and have the seating in front of the stage.
Yeah.
Spread out as we need to, and have loudspeakers, I guess, and like as if it was in the gym and hope it doesn't rain. It was in person on April 7th. That's the day after tomorrow, and that's outdoors. And I don't know how they're doing it, but the high school budget meeting tends to bring in as many people as most town meetings. I don't know how they're doing it, but probably not very different. I mean, and with the technology, I mean, having it outdoors kind of takes away the possibility to a degree of doing a hybrid with Zoom as well, just because it's very challenging to lighting and everything else. But anyway, it's getting sort of late.
As in tonight, do you mean, or is it
No,
in decision making?
decision making.
Right, right.
All right. Yeah, so I think we can certainly look into some things. Okay, I like the idea of the chairs outdoors. We'll see if that's doable. So anyway, does anyone have any more to say on this issue?
Just one more question. So your next meeting, will this be discussed?
Yes.
Is it on the agenda maybe, please?
It will be put on the agenda. We don't have an agenda for the next meeting yet.
Sorry, placement.
And when's the next meeting?
It's in 2 weeks.
It's the 20th because 19th is Patriots Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
Football always gets in the way.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate the time and listening as well.
Sorry you
Okay,
hit
no
a bad night with no Zoom, Carmen.
I know. I know. But here I am at Jerry's. I thought, oh, bad luck, but no, this is good luck. It's moving forward. And I just think I hope that you will think about it, all of you, and I know you do. I know you care. But I desperately do not want to be in that same situation. That was awful. And maybe you all didn't notice what was happening in back, but it was not good. And I mean, that meeting lasted for just 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. It was, who was going to speak? Who would, never mind. Sorry. Done.
All right. So let's move along here. Item 7, unfinished business. Northeast Harbor Main Street Improvement Project cost summary. Is Tony on the call?
John, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, because I've been trying to confirm that. I was trying to speak a little while ago and couldn't get through, so I got out, back in. Good. Yes, I am on the call.
Okay.
The memo, I hope you understood it. My recommendations on page 1 and page 2. Derlin, I don't like to speak for Derlin, so I won't, but you have his manager's memo. And my recommended motions are page 1 into page 2, A, B, and C. And again, we've exceeded the project contingency of $337,049 by $48,564. And legal counsel has told us that we can use the difference between the cost that we bonded for the original project and the east side option, which is approximately $717,000, $713,753. So I'm recommending we move from that bond to the project budget, $48,564 to cover our shortfall in the contingency, and add another $50,000 to that contingency line moving forward. And this has been necessitated by construction engineering, working with Versant, and the easement process. Does anyone have any questions? I hope you can still hear me.
Yeah, Tony, I just have one question.
Yep.
Right now, it looks like there will be some of that bond balance, knock on wood, left over. Do you know a timeline as far as going back to revisit, I guess, some of the more like decorative and ornamental type things that were cut? Do we have a rough idea on that?
Matt, what I would do is start thinking about because those items were not deleted from the project, they were just postponed.
Correct.
So I would give thought to, for instance, the brick pavers that were going to be at the intersection of C Street and Main Street, the width of C Street, the width of Main Street at that area, and possibly the southerly pop-out park. Those are the two big items I would think. And will have ample funds as it stands today to pay for those two facets of the project that were postponed.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Tony, I have a question. You mentioned that some of the overrun had to do with some drainage problems.
That was in the original, let me find my spreadsheet. Martha, do you have the spreadsheet?
I do have it. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at column C,
okay.
August, those costs were approved in August of 2020. There were two cases. Two citizens came forward and said the water, we had understood about the puddle that was always in front of the post office. That's always been in the project to take care of
Why,
that.
that's actually why I was asking that question. I wanted
Yes.
to make sure that that project is
Yeah.
done, that puddle will be gone.
That's been in the project from the get-go. Yes.
Okay, because I leap over it every time.
Okay. But yes, it will.
That was my question. Okay, good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it looks like Derlin has suggested that there are three things we could move to take place, and I'm happy to make those motions.
Okay.
The first of which is to approve the estimated costs totaling $195,000 to complete the project, to be charged to the contingency line. The second would be to approve the transfer of $48,564 from the bond balance of $713,753 to the contingency line, leaving a bond balance of $665,189. And the third motion would be to approve the transfer of $50,000 to the contingency line from the remaining bond balance of $665,189, leaving a bond balance of $615,189.
I would second that.
Do those have to, excuse me, don't they have to be voted on separately?
It says possible motion to. It says motion,
Okay.
not motions. So that
Okay.
this is from Berlin.
Yeah.
It's all sort of one fell swoop. We're approving the expenditure. We're approving the transfer of almost 50,000, and then we're moving money around.
I get that, but usually he likes us to do them separately, but okay.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
John?
Why don't we do them separately? And I will require people to say their name as they vote.
Motion one, approve the $195,000 expenditure.
Second.
Okay, Matt, how do you vote?
Matt Hart votes aye.
Jeff, how do you vote?
Jeff Wood votes aye.
Martha, how do you vote?
Martha Dedman, aye.
Wendy's not here. John McCauley votes aye. Okay,
Motion two.
Thank you.
Motion two, approve transfer of $48,564 from the bond balance of $713,753 to the contingency line, leaving a bond balance of $665,189.
Matt Hart will second that.
Okay, great. Jeff, how do you vote?
Jeff Wood votes aye.
Matt, how do you vote?
Matt Hart votes aye.
Martha, how do you vote?
Martha Dedman votes aye.
And John McCauley votes aye. And Wendy is absent. Okay. Next.
Motion three, approve the transfer of $50,000 to the contingency line from the remaining bond balance of $665,189, leaving a bond balance of $615,189.
Matt Hart will second that.
Great. Jeff, how do you vote?
Jeff Wood votes aye.
Matt, how do you vote?
Matt Hart votes aye.
Martha, how do you vote?
Martha Dedman votes aye.
And John McCauley votes aye. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Get her done.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Tony,
Okay, new business. Request for approval and authorization for the fire chief to sign and execute a public safety training agreement and mutual release for use of a structure in Seal Harbor for fire department training.
This is Matt. I would move approval.
second,
Great. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Any opposed? Great. Thank you. Public space special event application, the Mount Desert Island YMCA for Acadia 70.8 Triathlon, August 2021, Ponds End, Soamesville.
I'll move approval.
I'll second that.
Great. Any further discussion? All in favor? Yes?
Yeah, I
Hello?
would just, this is Jeff.
Yep.
Just discussion. I mean, I know it's a long way away and we're hoping that it won't be any issue, but I would sort of like the wedding thing, make sure that we attach some sort of a contingency just in the event that we will not be improving of this come July. You know, I mean, if we should, some sort of a caveat that says, unless things go south, I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
They
Do we
did
have
say,
Claire on the call?
They did say that they would be adhering to any COVID regulations that were in place.
Okay. Yeah,
So
you're
I
right.
felt,
they did.
I had the same question as you had, Jeff, but I feel like they were on top of that
Okay.
in their proposal.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm good.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Great, thank you. Any other business? Okay. And that brings us to the exciting part of the meeting. Warrants. All right, warrants to be approved and signed. Town invoice AP 2156 in the amount of $290,740.65.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay,
This
that's
is Martha. Second.
Yep. Okay. Matt, how do you vote?
Matt Hart votes aye.
Martha, how do you vote?
Martha Dudman votes aye.
Jeff, how do you vote?
Jeff Wood votes aye.
Wendy, absent. John McCauley votes aye. Okay. Authorized warrants to be signed. Town state fees and payroll benefits, AP 2153 in the amount of $4,378.23. AP 2154 in the amount of $7,520.31. AP 2155 in the amount of $6,426.20. Town payroll PR 2122 in the amount of $106,335.35. PR 2123 in the amount of $103,304.15.
Move
Move
approval.
Okay, and Martha seconds.
Yeah, second.
Matt, how do you vote?
Matt Hart votes aye.
Martha, how do you vote?
Martha Dudman votes aye.
Jeff, how do you vote?
Jeff Wood votes aye.
Wendy abstains, and John McCauley votes aye as well. Okay, warrants to be acknowledged. School payroll number 20 in the amount of $167,805.23.
I'd move acknowledgement.
Second.
Okay, Matt, how do you vote?
Matt Hart votes aye.
Jeff, how do you vote?
Jeff Wood votes aye.
Martha, how do you vote?
Martha Dudman votes aye.
And John McCauley votes aye. Great. Thank you, everyone, very much.
Thank you. Move to adjourn.
Second.
Great. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Good
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Whatever that